Hello iPad letterers, it's so nice to see you. My name is Karen, I'm from iPad Lettering and I'm here to help you get the most out of your iPad, whether that is with lettering or art or planning and journaling. Today we are going to do a plan with me for the month of October. Can you believe it's already October? Where has the year gone? I really hope you're all staying safe wherever you are in the world. I will be using the Zinnia app and I'm also going to show you a brand new Zinnia feature. This is something I've wanted so badly and now it's available, so definitely make sure you stick around so you're not missing it. The theme for this month's digital bullet journal is going to be autumn leaves, and some of you might find this a little bit odd because I live in the southern hemisphere, but I know that most of you who are watching are actually in the northern hemisphere, and since I was growing up in Switzerland, which is also in the northern hemisphere, I can very much relate to autumn, so I really want to do an autumn related theme this month. But to start with, I want to show you what I've been up to in September. I know a few of you have been asking for a flip through of September's journal, what that came out like. So let's do that just now. I absolutely still love the craft paper look and I think I'm going to use this type of design again. The monthly overview page is probably my least favorite page out of the whole month. It wasn't super useful, especially because I had to change my plans a few times, so I had to cross things out. This didn't work that well for me, but I really like the layout of my weekly planner pages. I feel they were really useful and they really helped me stay organized, especially also the right hand side here where I had a little bit more room to write my to-do list for the week, things I wanted to remember, some notes, and then also what I was planning for the following week. This is what the pages ended up looking like. And then on this page, I've also inserted one of my leaves paintings that I made in Procreate, and I thought that was really fitting here, so this looks really nice as well. And then my weekly meal plan, I actually ended up using this for most weeks. I just rotated some of the dishes here. It worked quite well and it definitely helped me stay on track with my meals in September. And then my content ideas, I love this page. This was very helpful. So I ended up adding a few additional items, especially tutorials. So this is something that you can look forward to. Procreate 5X has just been released, so I'll be making a lot more tutorials with the new features. I'm very excited about this. And then the me time page was very helpful as well. You see I've ticked off quite a few of these items and they were very enjoyable. But then this page here, the gratitude page, I was super happy about this. So I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what this looks like. So I ended up using these shapes and then add lettering pieces on top of the shapes. And I found this a very helpful exercise. Another very helpful exercise was the daily log. If you remember from a couple of weeks ago, I did a video where I was practicing my handwriting because I didn't really like it. I started my practice by writing out these quotes, but then I thought instead of writing someone else's quote, why don't I start a daily log and just jot down my thoughts? And so I actually very much enjoyed that exercise and this is what it looked like. So I'm just going to show you how I've done this. So this is my template and you see here, if I'm zooming in, that there is the graph paper underneath. So I was using the graph paper to write on it. And then once I was finished with the page, I ended up changing the opacity of the craft paper to make the graph lines disappear. I very much enjoyed doing this and I'm also going to do it again this month. And then on this last page here, I ended up pasting a few of my Procreate paintings and we're going to use some of these in this month's journal as well. But now it's time for our October journal. So we're going to start with a new journal and as always, we're going to start with a blank journal and we are going to make that cover page to start with. Of course, I want to use a fall theme, but I've also decided to keep this journal quite minimal. I don't want it to be too cluttered. I want it to be really nice and subtle. So to start with, we are going to select one of the monthly planners and I want to keep it quite minimal. So let's select one of these mini calendars for October. And then we're going to place this in the center of the journal. And for this month, I actually want this to be quite handwritten. And because there is this amazing new feature in Zinnia, which I'm going to show you now, let me show you how we can do this. So now the first thing we want to do is decrease the opacity of this, because we're just going to use this as a template, and then we are going to write on top of this. I recommend that you choose that technical pen, and now we are going to adjust the size. It doesn't have to be too thick, but now have a look at this. We've now got smoothing. This is so amazing. This is something that I've always wanted, and the whole reason why I started practicing my handwriting was because I just couldn't make the lines smooth. So I thought, well, maybe I just need to practice more. But now look at this. I've started practicing my handwriting 2 weeks ago, and now we've got this feature in Zinnia. It's so cool. So now I'm going to choose black, and then all we're going to do here is trace the letters and the numbers. And this is so nice. This really almost feels like Procreate now. You can really write these letters with a lot of confidence, and this is going to be such a time saver. So this looks good. And then let's also make a line here. Now let's see how straight I can do this with the smoothing option turned on, and it's not too bad. All right, so we tap done, and then we can now get rid of the underlying template, so we can just delete this. And then we also want to write the October label as well. Now what I'm going to do for this as a little helper, I'm actually going to turn on the grid lines just so I can see where I'm writing, and then again using the technical pencil. So I'm just going to write it here. I'm going to move it into a different place a little bit later on, but it makes it easier to see if I write it here. So I'm going to do this extended script for this, and you can see now how much easier it is to do this. Okay, so now we can group this and then put it here. And then let's also put a little highlight mark on it. So I'm going to select the highlighter pen, and then you can see I've also made this full color scheme. So now maybe let's do orange, and this looks very cute. And then we can turn our grid lines off again and make it blank. So now I want to insert the leaves that I've shown you before. So now I'm going to grab them from my previous journal. So now I've got this page here, and let's grab these three. I'm going to copy and then go back to the October journal and paste. And now we can arrange them. Let's see, I want the maple leaf to be in the center. This is super cute. And then this red oak leaf here, and then the green one over there. And this looks very cute. And then let's also insert a background paper. I really like the look of the watercolor texture pack. So let's add this in here. And now, of course, it's going to hide everything, but we can move this now to the bottom of the stack. You can long press this button, and now it goes to the bottom of the stack. And then we're also going to decrease the opacity a little bit. So it's only a subtle effect like this. And now we are going to export this page and save it to the Photos app. And now we can use it as our cover page. And then this is going to be October. And there we go. And the next page we are going to create is the monthly overview page. So I'm going to select one of the monthly calendar templates here as well. I quite like this minimalist template here, but there's quite a lot of elements that I don't like. So now let's remove some of them so we can ungroup this and then get rid of the parts that we don't want. So I don't want this, but I actually want to keep these two elements here at the bottom, but I would like them to be on this side here, so we can move them. And then we can also move the label as well, and then make this a bit bigger. Let's do a heading here as well, and I'm actually going to use text for that heading, and I'm just going to write October now. And you can see now this looked like magic. This is actually a new feature in iPadOS 14. So if you haven't upgraded your iPad yet, I very much recommend that you do that. It means you can use your handwriting and then it turns into text, which is super cool. Except I actually want this to be uppercase. So now I'm going to change it and I'm going to write this uppercase. But it was a cool effect, so I just wanted to show you. So we're going to put this here and then change the color. And then the labels, I actually don't want these labels, so I'm going to get rid of them. And then I'm going to write them myself. And in order to do that, we're going to turn on the grid background again like this. And then using the technical pencil, I'm now going to write the labels here. I really am a big fan of this extended script. So now I also want to give October a background. This time I'm going to use a light yellow. And then of course we also need the numbers for each day. And this is quite nice because it's got these boxes. So what you can do here is either use text or write by hand. And since I'm practicing my handwriting, of course, I'm going to write this by hand. All right, so now this looks quite cute, but let's add some more embellishments here. Let's have a look through the stickers to see what we can find. I really want to keep this quite minimal, so I don't want to add too many elements here. But I found these really cute stickers in the countryside sticker pack, and they have some really nice full colors as well. So I'm just going to add a few here on the sides to give the whole page a little bit of color. And this is our monthly overview page down. So now let's do a weekly spread as well. And again, for the weekly spread, I actually want to keep this quite simple as well. So we're going to select a weekly template to start with. And then I'm going to ungroup this and get rid of the elements I don't like so much. And then I don't like these labels too much. I actually want them to be handwritten as well, same as on the previous page. So now what we can do is go back and we can actually grab all of these. So I'm going to select them and paste them here. So now we're going to rotate them like this. Now we can put them on top of the other labels. And now in order to hide the other labels, let's use some washi tape. I'm just going to use some of the basic colors here and add this in. And we're going to add one of these mood board journal cards. I found this grey one and I think this looks very cute. It's got these different text boxes and it's got some little leaves here as well. And I think this looks very cute. So now we can use some of these boxes for the to-do list, for the things I want to remember, for notes. And then also here we've got one for next week. So I want to create this little embellishment here, little border around the boxes because they are quite light, just to give them a little bit more definition. And you can see here now as well how much the smoothing feature makes a difference. So we can now create these almost straight lines without too many problems. How cool is that? Add some other little elements here into the other boxes. So let's have a look at some of the stickers again. And then let's add some backgrounds here as well. I'm actually quite happy about how this page came out. So the only thing now we need to add is the week number. And I think I'm going to add it on this side. So I've got a little bit more room over here. And then I also want to make a page for the daily log. So let's turn on the grid paper again like this. And this is going to be quite simple. I'm just going to write the heading here. And then each day I'm going to add the date and then my daily log. And you can see how ugly I wrote and it still recognized my handwriting. Isn't this amazing? Except I actually want this to be uppercase. I'm going to have to write it again anyway. It doesn't recognize uppercase, unfortunately, but that's okay. And then we can write daily log over the top here as well. And also the highlighter here. And then one last page, which is for the gratitude journal. And here are all the pages for my October journal. I'm curious to hear your feedback, of course. And also let me know if you enjoyed the flip through of last month's journal. And if you would like me to show you what the October journal ended up looking like as well. And then just as a little heads up, in my next video, I'm going to show you how you can paint these autumn leaves yourself using the Procreate app. So if you're interested in that, you might like to subscribe to my channel and also hit the little bell icon to be notified when this video goes live. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.